Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? This one goes out to all you film buffs out there, especially if you love Indian cinema, because today we're talking Nayanthara.
Nayanthara.
Yep. Specifically, her brand new documentary, Nayanthara, Beyond the Fairy Tale.
Oh, yeah, just came out on Netflix.
Just dropped November 18th.
Like just a couple days ago.
And already it's got people talking.
Mm-hmm.
So the doc, it's supposed to be this intimate look into her life and career, as she hits the big
For 40 years.
a big milestone.
Huge.
Right. But what's interesting is that the reviews, they're a little mixed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some people are saying it's really insightful and they're learning new things, but then others are saying it feels kind of too polished.
Like almost too perfect.
Yeah, like maybe trying to control the narrative a little bit.
Interesting.
So we're going to try to figure that out today. What's the real story here?
Sounds good.
All right, so the documentary starts off, talking about Nayanthara's journey and how it all began.
Right from the very beginning.
Yeah, they go all the way back to this small town in Thiruvala, okay. And it basically follows her rise to stardom.
Yeah, to the top.
In not one but two major film industries in India.
Tamil and Telugu cinema.
Two huge industries.
Oh, absolutely. It's like their own Hollywoods almost.
Right. Each one with its own style, its own stars, its own massive fan base.
For sure.
But they really pinpoint her debut film as this, turning point.
Manasnagar.
Yeah, Manasnagar, back in 2003.
2003, wow.
No, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So the documentary definitely makes it seem like this, fairy tale beginning. Small town girl makes it big.
Yeah, a classic story.
Yeah. But then it kind of shifts gears and dives into some of the tougher stuff she's had to face.
The not-so-fairy tale parts.
Right, exactly. And Nayanthara herself, she opens up about relationships that, didn't work out.
Oh, wow.
The constant scrutiny that comes with being in the public eye.
That can be brutal.
It can be so brutal and, even body shaming. Yeah, she talks about how she was pressured to, fit a certain image.
Like those beauty standards.
Ugh, I know, it's so tough. And honestly, I was really struck by how open she was about all of this.
Yeah, me too. It's not something you see very often.
Right, especially for someone at her level, a huge superstar.
In an industry that's all about image.
Exactly. So what do you think? What made her decide to be so candid?
Well, it's definitely not the norm. You rarely see this kind of vulnerability from someone in her position, There's this one scene that really got to me where she's talking about being told to change her appearance, how she was too dark or didn't have the right look to be a leading lady. And she talks about how those comments really affected her, deeply. And it just makes you realize that even with all the success, all the fame, these experiences, they can really leave a mark,
It's true.
And for her to speak out about it like that, it's powerful. It's like she's challenging this idea of the perfect celebrity and showing that even someone at the top has dealt with these very real pressures.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's like she's using her platform to say, hey, this is the reality for a lot of women and it's not okay.
Exactly. And that's huge.
And, speaking of realities, the documentary also spends a good amount of time on her relationship with filmmaker Vignesh Shivan.
Oh, yeah. They seem really happy together.
They do. They got married in 2022, and now they have kids, and you see these little glimpses into their life,
Like behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, and it's all very lovey-dovey, very supportive. Yeah. It really paints this picture of a strong partnership.
It's kind of heartwarming to see,
It is, but it also makes me think about all the pressure celebrity couples face, especially in India.
Oh, yeah. The media, the fans, everyone's watching their every move.
It must be so overwhelming. How do you even navigate that and try to build a life together at the same time?
Yeah, that's a whole other layer to the whole fairy tale idea, isn't it?
Right. It's a different kind of fairy tale.
With its own set of challenges, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure, yeah. And that's where this whole thing with Dhanush comes in.
Oh.
Kind of throws a wrench into the whole fairy tale thing.
This Dhanush situation is wild.
Yeah, a bit of a turn.
It's been all over the headlines, and for good reason. So, basically, he's claiming that the documentary used a clip.
Oh, really?
From his film Naina Maradi Dawn, which also stars Nayanthara, just, FYI.
Oh, right.
And he's saying they used it without his permission.
So what's he doing about it?
Well, he's not messing around.
Well,
he hit them with a legal notice demanding a ton of money.
Like, how much are we talking?
10 crore.
Whoa.
That's serious cash.
No kidding.
And it's interesting because this whole thing, it goes beyond just one little clip. It brings up some major questions about copyright and intellectual property rights.
Especially in the Indian film industry.
Exactly, like who actually owns the footage from these
Right.
films
And can it be reused, even if it's just a small part?
without permission?
Yeah, these are big questions.
And they're going to have ripple effects way beyond just this one case.
For sure, this could set a precedent.
Exactly, and to make things even spicier,
Oh, there's more.
Nayanthara is not backing down.
Oh, good she's not.
She wrote this really strongly worded open letter.
What'd she say?
She basically accuses Dhanush of having a personal vendetta against her.
Whoa.
Yeah, she even suggests that he's trying to, sabotage the whole documentary.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, things have gotten a little heated.
Yikes. It makes you wonder if there's something else going on here.
Right, is there some bad blood between them from before?
Maybe from working together or something?
I mean, the documentary doesn't really touch on any of that.
Which just makes everyone speculate even more.
It's true.
Yeah.
And to add fuel to the fire,
Wait, there's more.
another actress, Parvathy Thiruthuthu, she came out publicly and voiced her support for Nayanthara.
Wow. So it's like the industry is taking sides.
It kind of feels that way.
It just shows you that these controversies, they don't stay contained,
They never do.
Someone speaks out and it creates these ripples.
Exactly. And in this case, it really highlights how important it is for women to support each other.
Especially in an industry that hasn't always been so welcoming to them.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then to top it all off,
Oh no, is there more?
get this, both Nayanthara and Dhanush, they ended up at the same wedding.
No way.
Yeah, producer Akash Bhaskaran's wedding.
Talk about awkward.
Right. And from what I've heard, the tension was like you could cut it with a knife.
Oh man, I wish I could have been there.
I know, right? What must have been going through their heads?
With everyone watching them.
It's like real-life drama unfolding.
Better than any movie.
Okay, so before we get totally caught up in the drama, let's go back to something you said earlier about the documentary maybe trying to control the narrative. There's this part where Nayanthara, she reveals that she actually stepped away from acting for a while.
What?
Yeah, because a past partner wanted her to.
Oh wow.
But she doesn't say who it was.
So mysterious.
Really leaves you hanging, who was this person?
And what was the relationship like?
Right, it's like she's hinting at this whole other side of her life, like a chapter that's not so fairy tale-ish.
Yeah, totally. It's like, even with all the documentaries and social media, we think we know these people.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always stuff going on behind the scenes. Things we don't see.
And it makes you wonder, what else is she not telling us?
Especially with all this drama with Dhanush going on.
Exactly. So much to think about. So, okay, for everyone listening, what's the takeaway here? We've got this documentary that's supposed to be celebrating Nayanthara's career.
Right, a big happy milestone.
But then it sparks this legal battle, and she opens up about some pretty personal struggles.
Mm-hmm.
So can we really separate the fairy tale from the reality?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's probably a simple yes or no answer.
Right.
I think what's interesting is that the documentary, even though it's called Beyond the Fairy Tale, it actually shows us a more well-rounded picture of Nayanthara.
Mm-hmm.
We see her success and her strength, but also the challenges she's faced. It's like a reminder that even those who seem to have it all, they still go through tough times.
Definitely. I think that's a good takeaway for anyone, whether you're a movie star or just, living your life.
We all have our own behind-the-scenes stories, right?
Absolutely. The stuff that doesn't always make the highlight reel.
Exactly.
Well, this deep dive into Nayanthara's world has been a wild ride.
It has.
And honestly, I'm left with more questions than answers now.
Sure.
So I got to know, what do you think? Did Nayanthara, beyond the fairy tale, actually go beyond the fairy tale? Let us know your thoughts. And until next time, happy watching, everyone.